Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our podcast, A Lion Among the Sheep. It's great to be back here. I know the weather's turning beautifully down here. It's getting cooler in South Florida. The sun's shining, hurricane season over. Coach Jamie, how are you doing? What a beautiful day. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great, Scott, man. How are you, man?
Things are going well. Things are going great. We did this podcast. Jamie and I designed this podcast to start actually forming leadership ability and qualities in men and women. We're tired of people being sheep. We've talked about this numerous times throughout the years of us knowing each other. There's so many sheep in our country, in our world, that we need lions out there, especially in this new political environment, the economic environment. We need people out there taking the lead, taking the bull by the horns, no pun intended, and going out there and being lions. And that's what this podcast is about. We're going to talk about topics that may be controversial sometimes, but are educational. So how was your week, Jamie?
Hey, man, so far so good. Big shout out to all our veterans. I was in recognition of Veterans Day yesterday.
Absolutely.
Much love and appreciation for all our men and women who keep us safe. It was a great, relaxing day yesterday. We actually been having pretty good weather. The last couple of days, it hasn't been its typical 90 degrees with humidity out of control, man. So no, everything is great, man. I had a great workout this morning. Did legs today and abs. And I'm feeling good. Had a couple meetings, and so man, I'm glad to be here with you.
I'm glad to. You know what? Hey, I had a lot of good comments about our last podcast about breaking outside your comfort zone. A couple of my friends who do strongman and powerlifting and transitioning to strongman tell me it's hard for them to change up their routine because they break out their comfort zone. They actually thanked
Right.
me for both of us doing that podcast. They said it really hit home with them. So yeah, we're glad we could help some people out. What little help we could give you guys, but whatever. But no, it's been a great week. I get up early and coach tennis outside a lot at 7:30 in the morning. And I tell you, the weather's been amazing. It feels the coolness is in the air. The coolness is nice. So the heat, it's not 90 degrees anymore at 7:30. It's below humidity in 70.
How have you adjusted to the new time? It's
I like it because I could
yeah,
coach now. It gets light at 6:30, so I could get on the tennis courts a lot early. Before it was always 7:30, and now
right.
people want to play tennis before they go to work, go to school. So it's really been advantageous to my life.
Awesome. Awesome, man. So what any, I guess, news, fitness, we always, obviously we talked about it, and I couldn't agree with you more about the mission is to create more lions, right? And what that, means for us is, they're both men and women lions. I think people having courage, belief in themselves, and, a willingness to, want to be the best version of themselves for them. And, I say this, I may have said it before, it's always you against you and trying to improve yourself every single day, whether it be your personal life, relationships that you have with family and friends. Those are the real lions to me. And I'm sure you share some same sentiments that, none of us are perfect, but
Right.
we want to strive, to get better, not just for ourselves, but for people, that we love and care about. So I thought you said that great. And I just really love the concept of what we're doing and how we want to make a meaningful impact into helping others, be lions, right? Because
Right,
there's
right.
enough room for lions for everyone, right? So
Everyone
yeah,
could be their own version of a lion.
there you go. There
You
you
know,
go, buddy. So yeah, so man, I guess, any information out there, any studies, because I know we talk a
no,
lot about the fitness component of it and the actual doing,
right.
but I think the actual benefits of exercise, there's so much data, but I didn't know if maybe you came across something that, that we can share that, could help resonate or be a motivating factor for someone out there.
Especially with the Veterans Day being just recently, there's been a lot of new studies. There's been a lot of focus on the aging population. And we talk about lions. Lions, the concept of being a lion isn't just being a big, bulky physical man. It's being inside. mental acuity, sharpness, and just having that attitude. There's a lot of 5'2", 130 pound, 120 pound women who are lions. Okay, you don't have
Right.
to be, you don't have to be, the physical presence isn't just all about being a lion. It's a mental. There's a lot of new studies out there. There's a lot of that are being involved the old aging population and the correlation of fitness to mental acuity and the cognitive acuity and cognitive ability. And they found, Jamie, that there's a direct correlation to increase the heart rate every day, 7 days a week, not
Mm.
just not just 3 days a week or 2 days a week, every day getting out there and raising the heart rate and increasing the cognitive acuity and just your
Wow.
mental ability and especially in the aging population. There's been a study, if I can, there's been a couple of studies out there that I'm really interested in. One, they've had a bunch of 20, 30-year-old people, okay, men and women. And the one group did a spin for 45 minutes, an hour, a hard spin, 3, 4 days a week. The other group did a competitive Scrabble. Okay, it was online and they were just playing Scrabble. And they took, the baseline measurements and they followed these people through a series of 6, 9 months. And at the end of that period, they found out that the group that did raise your heart rate 3, 4 times a week for 45 minutes an hour did much better on the Stroop test and all the cognitive tests. And what they did is after 2 hours after they were both done with the one spinning, the other one Scrabble, they did
Right.
the Stroop test and the cognitive test. And the
Yeah.
group that did the cardiovascular exercise was much, much higher than the one that just played competitive Scrabble. Now that's for 20, 30, 40-year-olds. They've done
Right.
another test. It's out, I believe, out of Sweden. Now, 40 years ago, they measured these with 3 groups of women, the low fit, medium fit, and high fit. And they
Mhm.
followed these women for 40 years. Okay, that's a very ambitious study for 40 years. They followed these women for 40 years. And what they found is that the women, and this is all women, in the high fit group added at least 9 years of cognitive acuity, cognitive sharpness to their lives. So what that
Wow.
means is it's an ongoing process. It's something that when you start early and you continue that, it builds 9 to 10 years more of mental sharpness. So these studies really tell what we have in our brain, deep down in my little brain here. There's something called the hippocampus, and it's the little mental organism that controls learning and memory, and it can grow. And how it grows is through neuroplasticity. That is the generation of new neurotransmitters, new neurons, and the regenerations of old ones. A lot that comes into a lot of people with stroke victims.
Right.
So by increasing the heart rate, cardiovascular exercise for that, as I said, every day for 45 minutes, it
Yeah.
increases, it makes the hippocampus grow. It's like a muscle, it actually grows. Now we talk about cardiovascular and we don't talk about lifting weights because as we've kidded around before, I've never. It's easier to get a hamster or a mouse or a rat on one of those gerbil wheels than it
Right.
is to lift weights and squat and do deadlifts. But if anybody who's out there lifting weights, they understand it. They're not doing where they're taking 10 minutes between sets. You're increasing your heart rate.
Right.
You're increasing the heart rate. So you're really increasing the heart rate and you're getting the full benefit. Plus, you're getting the benefits of lifting heavy weights.
Yeah.
We'll go over that another topic. So I'm
Right.
just, the data clearly shows that doesn't matter how late you are in life, where you are, whether you're 20 years old or 50 or 60 years old, get
Right.
out there and exercise every day.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's the key. Doesn't matter where you at, how long you exercise or you may not have been exercising. Well, I think one thing that I think we all encourage, if you haven't exercised for quite a while, it would just make a lot of sense before you start to go to
Yep.
your primary doctor and just have an overall physical done to make sure that there aren't any things that could potentially that you need to get taken care of before you
Absolutely.
start a basic program. But no, that's some compelling information because like you said, it's never too late to start. And just to piggyback off of that, we talk about heart health. we talk about, exercising, how it reduces cholesterol, how it reduces the risk of diabetes, which is a major challenge across our country. And that directly correlated with, a lot of the different things, that we eat. And then on top of it, we don't have any type of consistent, exercise program. Wow, no, that was great information, that you shared. I guess the other question would be is, for someone who, may be overweight, because in a way, on top of them exercising, what are some practical eating habits that they can try to implement, as they begin to, as you mentioned, strength training and performing some form of cardiovascular, what's your thoughts on eating? Because I've always,
Absolutely,
there's
coach.
people that do well with, low carbs. There are people that do well keto.
Let, let,
There's a
let me
number of different, what's your thoughts on that?
Coach, let me take a step back. We talk
Hmm.
about people who are obese, overweight.
Yeah,
Not the psychological impact
right.
cardiovascular and weight training has is unbelievable.
Wow.
It decreases anxiety, decreases depression. And
Yeah.
not that, as you start changing, it motivates you, become addicted. Instead of to eating Cheetos, you become addicted to training. And it helps, it's a self-affirmation process. You stick with it, you get past that, and it just perpetuates itself into what could be a lifelong lifestyle. But it comes down to eating. Everybody must, if they're overweight, I think 67% of the population is obese. And that is a sad testimony in our day and age. I've seen things on Facebook where they show New York City in the 1930s. I don't know if you ever
Hmm.
saw any of these, everybody's slim, and they show them from this year and everybody's obese, and it's really sad. But I think everybody has to take a look at their diet. I had a friend of mine who I worked with back in Pennsylvania who would get up every morning and have a bag of Doritos and two Cokes for breakfast. And we just, when he first came to me, we tweaked that. Like, you cannot, that's just a very harmful, very overweight, very overweight. And he just tweaking your diet a little bit at a time, because you're not going to go in there, Jamie. I don't care how disciplined you are. You're not going to go in there being obese, eating Doritos and Coca Cola for breakfast, and say I'm going to go keto. It's not going to
Right.
happen, because you're setting yourself up for failure. It's not
Right.
going to happen. But if you
Right.
just, and that's why I think a coach, a health coach, a strength coach, a
Yeah.
nutritionist is really important.
Absolutely.
I said this on one of my reels on my Instagram. People have, estate planning, they've got tax planning, they've got retirement planning, they've all these, and inheritance planning, but they don't have fitness planning. They don't want
Yeah.
to pay someone to, which is the most important part of your life.
Sure.
Being fit, and being fit physically makes you fit mentally. So I would suggest go and just hire someone, pay them $100 an hour for a couple, 5
Sure.
hours. And that's going
Yeah.
to save you, because the costs that are going to come back, save you in medical expenses and long term, and being there for your children and your grandchildren and living a long,
Absolutely.
productive life is really important. So without going into a whole episode, we go into diet. Sometimes we will, whether
Sure.
keto. I don't say go full. I believe in moderation. I'm
Yeah.
not a zealot in anything. I think a zealot in anything, whether it's politics,
Right.
sports, religion, diet, fitness, it's not good. Moderation is best. So just
Yeah.
tweak the little things that you can and that you can live with, and see the benefits, see the results. And it's going to be self-affirming. You're going to see little benefits. You say, hey, I'm losing a little bit of weight. I'm going to keep going. And it takes, we talk about this, Jamie, it takes time. Anything worthwhile in life takes time. And that's looking at where it takes time.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's well said. And, the component that you talked about, and just the core components of all of the benefits, you mentioned, being here for a long time and, having the best quality of life. And if you don't have, your health, you really don't have anything. I think, this is pretty, real stuff when you start talking about quality of life and
Right.
the things that you do in terms of on a daily basis, exercising, making good food choices. I can't say enough about, as you alluded to, how valuable exercise is to your self-esteem, how you think about yourself. And I say this a lot, and how you allow other people to treat you.
Absolutely.
I think people know when you're not living the best version of yourself,
Yeah.
and you become prey for people who
You
are
become a
don't have the
sheep.
best intentions for you. And I think it was an interesting article I read, and they were talking about how impulsively exercising beyond a reason, like going hours and hours. And I said to myself, well, yeah, of course, no one wants anyone to isolate themselves and become such a addiction, but I think I can live with, being committed, not addicted, but I much rather someone have exercise, eating well, doing the right things, opposed to some other addiction that just shortens the quality of life, shortens their life, and takes them away for their loved ones. So no, great stuff, man. I think that was dead on.
And Jamie, coach, real quickly, it doesn't take a lot of time, believe it or not. My
Right.
workouts are 4 days a week, maybe five for no more than an hour. I'm in that gym. My heart rate's up. My heart rate is like 142 beats per minute. I think I have my fitness. So it's not, you don't have to be addicted to fitness to be in shape. So that's the thing. People take, I'm gonna be like you because you're how many hours you work out a day? I'm like, I work out an hour, like 4 days, five, maybe five a week.
Correct.
That's it. That's it. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I really appreciate this today. This is a great topic, and we'll be continuing this topic down the road. And if anybody has any comments or suggestions for other topics, we're going to get in next time. I think into now we talked about the mental and psychological, benefits of exercise. I think next time, Jamie, Coach, we'll go down and maybe talk about. We know about the physical. Let's get into more about the physical benefits of
Absolutely.
lifting and the
Yeah, no.
long-term physical benefits. What do you think?
No, hey, I love it. Heart health, I think we all know exercising definitely has everything to do with your
Right.
cardiovascular and reducing your chances of having a heart attack, stroke. So I'm excited for our next conversation, man, next week, and looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it. Guys, if you enjoy our podcast, hit like, subscribe, and share. We're going to start getting to more and more areas of topics and something in comment. Send us comments, comment down below, or send us a message and let us know what you think, any suggestions. We appreciate you being here. We love you guys, and we're looking forward to this being a long-term situation, guys. Remember, be lions, don't be sheep. Have a great couple of days, a great week. We love you. God bless, and we'll see you soon.
All right. See you soon. All right,
See
buddy.
you
Until
guys.
next time.
Until next time.